Alex here with a video on Judge Judy. Probably gonna make people laugh just to hear the title. I have had a lot of opinions of Judge Judy. I think a lot of people are gonna think that I'm gonna reference the Norm Macdonald interview again. I have referenced that before. It's a great interview, but that's not what this video is about. This video also comes from an epiphany. First off, my wife watches Judge Judy all the time. I would probably never watch it just because I don't have any problems with her. It's just not that interesting to me. But she watches like every single episode, even the reruns. She loves it. And there are a lot of situations where Judge Judy gets angry. First off, let me just lead this off with she's not just a TV judge, guys. She was a real judge. She was a supervising Manhattan family court judge for years. I don't know how many years. And she practiced, I'm not sure that she was a family court attorney, a family law attorney. I think she was a prosecutor. But I will mention that she was a supervising family court judge, and she's got all kinds of stories from that time of her life. Now she's on TV, that's true. Judge Judy is kind of known as a mean judge by attorneys. A lot of attorneys do not like her because that's not usually how they're treated by judges when they go to court. It's true on our Nevada judges. We've been recording attorneys and judges for a while now, and I haven't seen a judge like Judge Judy. Some of them are, I guess, maybe 1/4 of the way there, but not fully there. My opinion was that there were good things and bad things about her. I had things that I liked and disliked. And I kind of just thought that she was mean because that's what the ordinary people liked. I mean, I figure if they didn't, then she wouldn't have made that much money for the station. But um, apparently, people like that. Lots of people like that because they continue to watch, and the series continues to run. I guess now she's switching to some other company or something. I don't know. This is the point of the video. I'm about to start on what that epiphany was and why I'm doing this video. I had the epiphany when I was reading the comments on our Nevada judges from the public, and I was surprised how many comments really pinpointed on the continuances of the court and the stall tactics and the waste of taxpayer dollars. And I've heard Judge Judy talk about that before, about how wasting her time, and she's not just wasting her time generally, but she has talked about people being productive members of society and the taxpayers this and the taxpayers that. And it made me realize that there is something to that attitude. If a judge has this attitude that they're not going to be patient with you and they're not going to tolerate continuances and delays and they're going to resolve issues quickly and efficiently, um, and they're putting the taxpayer first, I can see the connection now because I see so many of the comments from the viewers on that point. And it is surprising to me how many people pick up on that. I first started to notice this trend in the state of Nevada versus Michael McDonald because there were like 6 or 7 different continuances before Mr. McDonald was sentenced. And then I started to see similar issues in the state of Nevada versus Julie Hammer and then other cases. And I started to realize maybe there really is something to her attitude, which is not being patient, which is really getting ticked off at people for not speaking quickly and concisely and moving on to the next case. It's almost like she doesn't care about the cases as much as she cares about efficiency, speed, and actually closing or resolving the issues. So I don't know. This isn't really meant to be an endorsement of her style. This is meant to be more so kind of a light bulb went off in my head that I didn't realize, a connection that I didn't draw until I started to read the comments on the Our Nevada Judges videos. And I think now it makes a lot more sense because for the most part, people don't attack the judges based on the decisions that the judges are making, with the exception of the continuances and the delays. I kind of thought initially it was just because people wanted to be entertained and they weren't happy with the continuances, but a lot of the continuances specifically, or the comments on the continuances specifically, do discuss the waste of taxpayer dollars. And it really makes me glad that I didn't just record snapshots of cases like they do kind of in the mainstream media. They might record the sentencing and the opening arguments or closing arguments, but they won't, or sorry, opening statements, but they won't really show the entire case. And if they do show the entire case, they don't really show all of the pre-trial stuff, which is where you typically will see all the continuances. So now that I have been doing that with our Nevada judges, and now viewers have been making remarks critical of the judge based on those points, I actually start to see why. I don't know if this is kind of deliberately done by her, even though she has made comments on it to indicate it as such. I kind of see now why she's keyed in on the whole issue of move along quicker, go, go, go. That's her attitude. It's not to sit there and sit back and let people talk for a long time. In fact, there was a video on the state of Nevada versus Kim Blandino where the judge allowed Mr. Blandino to speak for an hour, and a lot of people were critical of the judge on that. Again, it's not that the people are critical of the judge for their decisions so much, is that they're critical of the judge for indecision, for not making a decision, for letting things languish on in the court system. So I guess I hope that this video is as much of an epiphany for other people as it is for me, because for the longest time, I didn't really see her style as something more than just her style. I never really saw the depth to where she was coming from with that attitude. And it is a little odd now because her salary is no longer paid by the taxpayers. But at the same time, she still acts like a judge, and she seems to keep her principles from when she was a judge on the bench now, even though now she's paid by a corporation, whoever it is that's running the show. I hope that you guys have some comments on this, because it was definitely an eye-opener for me. And as I'm doing this video, I hope that it's more than just, oh, Alex likes Judge Judy. I hope that it really helps my viewers connect the two dots that I connected, which is that people do seem to care a lot more about the court wasting its time than they care about the court making a particular decision in one direction or the other. This is something that after a few years of our Nevada judges, I'm starting to see more and more emphatically come up in the comments. And it makes me think that it's good to show the public everything rather than just the hot spots or the sensational parts of the coverage, because by showing the public the boring 2 or 3 minute hearings, which a lot of lawyers think there's no point to show, they're actually able to string along, wait a minute, why is this going on for weeks and weeks and months, or even years and years, and why is all this money being wasted? That's such a, I really think that is such a thing that more judges should care about, that for whatever reason they don't. And maybe it's just because the public can't see it. Maybe because the public can't see it and it's only the attorneys who see it, and they don't care as much because they're paid based on, they're paid for different reasons. Attorneys are paid, by their clients. And I guess for them, more hearings is better because that means more money. So I don't know, guys. I really do hope to see some comments on this one. I hope I'm not alone on realizing this particular aspect of her style or attitude. And now that I've kind of made this connection in my head, now I think that that's actually the right way to go. That's actually the right attitude. Because I do know that they say that justice delayed is justice denied. And so if you're following that sort of phrase, then you can kind of realize the idea that by being really patient and I guess by thinking a lot about the sort of emotional needs of the litigant in your courtroom, you're depriving other litigants of their legal needs and rights. So by being nice and patient with one particular person, just because you want to not hurt their feelings, you are actually hurting all of these other people who need dispositions. They need rulings on cases, and you can't get to their cases because you're spending all this time on this one case. That's really what it comes down to. Are the feelings? It's hard to say that, because there is another sort of group out there who thinks everybody deserves their day in court, and everybody should be treated with respect, and at the same time is cutting them off and hurrying them out of the courtroom, a disrespectful thing to do to them. And you know what? That's where the videos come in. That's where the videos come in, because a lot of people are seeing what they perceive to be vexatious litigants wasting everyone's time. And by being respectful of a vexatious litigant, at least according to the perspective of the public, and by being patient and letting a particular litigant spend all of this time in the courtroom, the public is thinking to themselves, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you spending so much time on this one case? It's obviously ridiculous. Again, guys, I hope that this is as much of an epiphany for all of you as it is for me. And I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And I do hope to see some comments down in the comments below. I'm going to read them more carefully with this video, because I'm wondering what everyone else's thoughts are on this as well. Again, guys, looking forward to the comments. I will see you guys next time.